Hi, it's Toy Soldiers here, doing a deck profile with Devon. And what are you doing? Turboman?
Turboman.
Off of all, right?
No, it's not. Well, this is a dual symbol deck.
Okay.
It's the foundations are going to be mostly on all, but there's going to be some life cards that combo really well.
Fair enough. All right, away you go.
All right. So what we're doing here is we're looking to assemble what I hope is kind of a degenerate combo whenever I play it, using foundations, which is a little risky in a format with Dimitri in it, but fuck it, we're gonna do it. So we're gonna start with the attack lineup. So obviously you start with 4 Scorch Wheels if you're Turboman, because you'd be ridiculous not to.
Yeah.
And then in order to accomplish what we're doing, we're looking for life and all attacks. So the easiest way I think to do that is to go with the J. Talbane and Turboman Slam attacks. So we're going to play some Beast Cannon attack, and we're going to play Turbo Slam, so we can throw more cards down for Scorch Wheel. Beast Cannon's really nice because it makes your next slam at 2 less difficulty. So it's going to let you chain. It's going to let you chain slams out longer because you want to hold off on playing your Scorch Wheels as long as possible. And then once you're kind of at your limit, you're just going to chain out your Scorch Wheels and draw a billion cards and try to kill people in that means. So, and then Diving Beast Cannon is just kind of like, it's like got good numbers on it, but you can't play it first. And then you get one of Hydra Fork, but we'll come back to that later. This is a really good kind of alternate kill because with the powerful 3 and being able to discard foundations from your card pool, you can get this up to really good damage as well and kind of take people by surprise on the low zone where you don't actually really have a whole lot of other attacks. We play 1 of Kersplat. Again, this lets you extend your attacks a little bit longer before you can start throwing your Scorch Wheels down. And then 2 copies of Deathblow. This is really good if you don't go all in on your first attacks. If you get your 2 momentum, you just kill people with Deathblow. Like 5 high 7, 5 mid 7, 5 low 7. You get 21 damage off 1 card, and they're just gonna roll over and die. 4 copies of Transform that lets you just kind of curve out your slams a lot better. This is going to come down as Foundation 2. It's good all, like, it kind of makes the whole attack lineup really flow together really nicely. 1 copy of Not Over Yet, again, to kind of curve out the attacks a bit better so you can hold off on playing Scorch Wheels. You do kind of have to be careful with it, though, because this is going to put your Scorch Wheels up to 6 difficulty instead of 5. So you just have to watch your numbers with it really closely. And then 4 copies of Templar, because Templar's still broken like 5 years later.
Yeah, breaker or not.
So now with the foundations, what we're going to do is I think, in my opinion, one of the best foundations you can play with Turboman is Hunt for Spires and Dragons.
Yeah.
So you can just drop that on the same turn. This gives you foundation control. This is kind of good in the same way that Perfect Accuracy was really good with him before that rotated out. This is what I think is basically the replacement for that. You can only play it off life, so it kind of makes it more complicated to play him off of Void or All right now, if you're gonna look for this as a means to drop foundations for Scorch Wheel. But every attack in this deck is both all and life, every single attack. So you can chain this off of any attack lineup that you draw, which is where we come in with Champion of Southtown. So you're going to form Champion of Southtown and add Hunt for Spires and Dragons out of your discard pile to your card pool, and it's going to not count towards progressive difficulty. These 2 cards together are full-on ridiculous. Like, I think Kevin Broberg was playing this for a little while when Turboman first came out, and it didn't really, like, he didn't really go anywhere with it, or it didn't take off. But this interaction is really strong now, especially where you don't have the alternative of playing Perfect Accuracy for foundation control. This makes him kind of like a Dimitri on steroids. And then on top of all this, you play 3 Young Mercenary. So you're gonna form Champion of Southtown, adds Hunt for Spires and Dragons to your card pool, play an attack, it's going to drop face down. You commit it for Turboman for +2/+2, you blow it up for Young Mercenary to basically stun 1, and then you just keep doing that. And you can just loop Spires and Dragons in and out of your card pool like over and over and over.
Yeah, it's a little dumb.
That's all I can pull from Dragon Cape.
And then 4 Petrol Powered, all because that card's pretty ridiculous as well.
Yeah, it's kind of staple Turboman.
It's pretty staple in Turboman. Some people like playing this in other characters. That's kind of like you can debate over that. that quite a bit. But in Turboman, I feel like that's kind of a must-run card. And then 2 Partners in Crime Fighting and 2 Siberian Scientists. These are probably the best cards that you can form down with Turboman, because you get 2 uses out of Partners in Crime Fighting, and you get basically as many uses out of Siberian Scientists as you have momentum. It's really easy to hit people with Turboman and just not get lethal, but then have built a billion cards and have some blocks in your hand. And then you can reuse Siberian Scientist over and over again with Turboman and just keep getting the same +2/+2. One of the problems with the deck is you gotta it kind of stutters a little bit if it doesn't draw Scorch Wheel. This deck is like pretty okay with not drawing Scorch Wheel because you have alternatives to kill people with, but Scorch Wheel just kind of kills people for free. So I'm going to play 2 Seeking Information so that I can shuffle Scorch Wheel back into my deck from my discard pile and get another chance at drawing them. We're going to play 4 Power Struggles because Dimitri is still a thing. People were playing high damage throw decks here for a while, and it was really irritating.
Yeah, throws
like
can go
you
to
had like the 24 damage Breath of the Jade Dragon deck. Like that was annoying. So I'm just not going to stop playing 4 Power Struggles until Dimitri is banned or rotates, because and then so this puts us at 53 cards right here. Artifice Avarice is pretty ridiculous for just drawing free cards for no reason. And then 3 copies of What Lies Ahead. Mostly so that you can throw your Artifice Avarice on top of your deck and just use them for checks and draw more cards. You can also use them to throw your Spires and Dragons on top of your deck and then check them on an attack, and then just champion a South Town for your next attack. So this is kind of like an alternative Young Mercenary. It also gives you access to Artifice Avarice. And it's also, like, if you're really clever with it, you can enhance on your opponent's throw attack. And then, so if you fully block this attack, it still deals 1 damage. This is on your opponent's turn. That'll override the throw keyword and just make their throw deal 1 damage.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like, that's also decent tech against your Dark Side or your Dark Side Master decks that like Garrett 2-Dot that are just gonna pump the damage on a throw to ridiculous levels.
More throw hate.
Yeah, it's really good throw hate. That's kind of like a fringe thing. It'll save you sometimes, but like this is like Power Struggles is just superior throw hate.
Yeah.
And then Power Struggles also lets you pretty freely dig for attacks too. Like it doesn't feel bad to ever just drop Power Struggles in a non-throw matchup and then just use it to try and filter out for more attacks.
Yeah.
This is a clean 60 card deck. This is just purely, it has like so many specific cards it wants to draw every single game that you don't want to bring it over 60.
Yeah, especially with a single card.
And so, but like it's really not uncommon to just pop off on turn 2 and like murder somebody for full life.
Yeah.
You used to, like with Turbocharge, you could do it on turn 1. I kind of built this with the idea that I didn't want to play Turbocharge anymore because I just felt like it was a needless risk. Like it was a necessary risk when you had turn 2 Kim and Napalm Man running around. Like you needed to be able to pop off as early, like just have the chance to pop off. But the format's like slowed down like a little bit, so you can try to hold on turn 2 and just backswing for kill. There's less pressure to just like pop off on turn 1, I think. Even though like the format is still like really aggressive. And I'm sure the results from the Atlanta PTC are going to show that too, like just from the decks that I've seen popping up. You're still looking at a really aggressive format. So this kind of plays like a neat little like control, like foundation control, and just like very hard aggression with the slams. One of the problems with the deck is that it might, I've run it into stop a couple of times, and just kind of like it doesn't usually feel great to get stopped on Turboman. So one thing that I'm planning to try it with the deck is I want to be able to side in Yellow Devil in certain matchups and just see if I can play a character, like, because with the all life on Yellow Devil, maybe it's not so bad to just get committed and then just give all your attacks +2 damage and a bunch of stun, and then like side in some season guides. But that's like, that's kind of like theory. Like I don't know
That's
if the
theory
season.
at this point.
I don't know if the season guide is going to mesh well with the Spiders and Dragons, but you can definitely still just kind of like throw away the first form on Turboman and just play Yellow Devil with the loop,
Yeah.
and still just get decent sized Scorchfield draws off. And so like I think this is a possible alternative to the deck. I think.
Doug, do you have tape?
That I'm hoping to test it in the next couple of weeks. But as it stands right now, the deck is really solid without running into stop. Like it can just pop off at any time until you.
And it's being a good par for a lot of our aggressive decks to see how they match.
Yeah,
up.
like this is a good aggressive deck. I feel like for our play group because like generally we don't play very very aggressive things, and this offers enough control to feel like it's not worthless in a long game. Which is kind of like we just never like feeling weak in the long game, even though it's not really a long game format right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't draw attacks, so you kind of need like a backup plan for it. But yeah, so this is my current build for Turboman.
That's the dual symbol Turboman.
Dual symbol Turboman.
And that's it for the video. Thanks for the profile, Devon.
Thanks a lot.